What is the greatest comeback to an insult you've ever heard? Joe Pine interviewing Frank Zappa. Joe says, I guess your long hair makes you a woman. Zappa responds, I guess your wooden leg makes you a table. Winston Churchill, of course. Lady Nancy Astor said, Winston, if you were my husband, I'd poison your tea. Churchill replied, Nancy, if I were your husband, I'd drink it. Winston, you are drunk, disgustingly drunk. Yes, madam, but you're fat. And when morning comes, I shall be sober. My grandma asked my cousin, who'd had lots of partners and 2 kids at this point, if she was ever going to get married. Cousin says, it's not the same nowadays. We don't buy cars without test driving them first. Grandma replies, yeah, but they don't let you put 100,000 miles on them either. Point goes to granny. A guy makes fun of his bald friend by rubbing his head and saying, wow, your head is as smooth as my wife's bottom. The friend also rubs his head and says, wow, you're right. Chelsea Handler told Russell Brand, the way you are looking at me makes me want to cover my vagina. He replied with, ma'am, if I had a rubber glove, I'd do it for you. Crowd burst into laughter and she even acknowledged that was good. A friend in high school on our way to a track meet. He was staring at a car in the parking lot that was really nice. When this asshole saw him, asshole said, why bothering looking at that car when you know you'll never be able to get one? My friend answered, the same reason you watch porn. The entire bus erupted, and it's still one of the funniest things I've ever heard. During World War I, Switzerland had a tiny standing army, but they were very skilled marksmen. Wilhelm II of Germany asked what 250,000 Swiss troops would do if he decided to invade with 500,000 German troops. The Swiss said, shoot twice and go home. I was the one insulted, but not the one with the comeback. I was out with a coworker and her friends and my buddy, and I was leaving a little too early for her sensibilities. She jokingly got up in my face and said, smell that? Smells like pussy. A guy playing at the pool table next to us stepped forward and said, I'm sorry, that must be me. I just ate. It was amazing. Someone yelled out in a Walmart, I'm not ashamed of who I am. Another voice echoed back, that's your parents' job. I used to work with this like 70-year-old woman. She was a supervisor, and one day one of the ladies who worked with us told this old lady, kiss my ass. And the old lady replied, where do I start? You're so fat your crack goes all the way up your back. Quiet guy in my art class got called queerbait. He replied with, if I'm the bait then you're the catch of the day. Not heard, but read. Easily the Spartans reply to Philip II of Macedon. As Philip II of Macedon was conquering Greek city-states left and right, Sparta was left alone. Philip had achieved a crushing victory, and Sparta was relatively weakened without walls. Philip sent a message to the Spartans saying, if I invade Laconia you will be destroyed, never to rise again. The Spartans replied with one word, if. 18th century British radical politician John Wilkes was told in Parliament by a political opponent this, sir, I do not know whether you will die on the gallows or of the box. Wilkes shot back with the following, that depends, my lord, on whether I embrace your lordship's principles or your mistress. The greatest comeback I witnessed was when Kumail Nanjiani was on the TV show Meme Tweets and someone asked, is your dick multiple colors? And he said yes, every shade of your mom's lipstick. My grandparents used to bicker. My grandmother generally came out on top, as she was fierier. One time though, she was asking him to do a bunch of stuff, and he muttered, if you lose some weight, you could do it yourself. She fixed her gaze on him and glowered, I'm thinking of getting rid of about 200 pounds of useless fat immediately. He replied, you're going to cut off your foot. Gandhi after a reporter asked him a question. The reporter asked, what do you think of Western civilization? Gandhi answered, I think it would be a good idea. Saw a clip of a stand-up comedian the other day, and he says something along the lines of, the first time I had sex it was terrible, the first time I had sex. and a woman chimes in with, "You mean yesterday?" Crowd laughs for a while, and while the comedian is waiting for them to calm down you can see the gears turn in his head. Once it gets down to basically a few chuckles, he just says, "Glad you remember," and the crowd just lost their shit. It was amazing. Context: John Oliver from HBO interviews Stephen Hawking, may he rest in peace. John Oliver says, "And there may be a universe where I'm more intelligent than you?" Stephen Hawking replies, "There may even be a universe where you are funny." "If you weren't so stupid, what would you be?" asks the husband. The wife replies, without even skipping a beat, "Single." Thanks for watching the video. For more content like this, please subscribe, like, and share the video and push the notification button.